The time is now, the time is here. Round up the soldiers and lend me your ear. Pick your head up, stick your chest out, be strong, listen closely, cause men can't always be wrong. The time is now, the time is here. Round up the soldiers and lend me your ear. Pick your head up, stick your chest out, be strong, listen closely, cause men can't always be wrong. Men can't always be. Men can't always be. Men can't always be wrong. Men can't always be. Men can't always be. Men can't always be. Men can't always be wrong. Men can't always be.
What up, everybody? It's your guy T Swin, always back for the win. And this is the Men Can't Always Be Wrong podcast, brought to you by CTR Media Network. And I'm gonna bring on my other host, JB. What's up, bro?
How's it going, everybody, man? How's
it going? What's up? Man, while y'all out there, hit that like button.
Hit the like button, fool.
And we're gonna get into
button,
it, man.
Fool. Hit the like.
Exactly. And subscribe.
Exactly. Man, we're gonna get into this, man. They Cloned Tyrone movie review. Yes, sir. Now, man, this was an amazing movie. It's a Netflix movie. And man, it's well put together, man. I thought it should have been in the cinemas.
Yeah, man. When I first saw it, man, I thought it was gonna be some low budget stuff. But yeah, it's actually very, very high quality.
I was thinking the same thing too, man, because I was like, I'm gonna get around to watching it. And then I watched it and I said, man, it's so high quality. The angles, the music in the movie, the acting, the story was well put together.
The CG special effects was good.
Yeah, man. It was a high level movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot, man. I'll watch it again. That's how good it was.
Yeah, man. It's actually very, very informational and entertaining. So
yeah, man. The stars in the movie, man. Jamie Foxx, John Boyega, Teyana Parris. They played the main characters in the movie. Fontaine by John Boyega, Yo-Yo by Teyana Parris, and Slick, the Pimp by Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
and he wasn't even the main character.
Yeah, no. When I heard Jamie Foxx, I thought he was gonna be like, the center point. Yeah, the center point of the movie, but he wasn't.
Yeah, man. John Boyega's character Fontaine was the main character in the movie, man.
Yeah,
and it was really good, man. We seeing them playing other characters, seeing them being versatile.
Yeah,
and so, man, if you haven't seen the movie, watch that movie. Support. It's a really good movie, but it's not even in the top 10 in Netflix.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, especially with the star power they have in this movie, man. We have a person who, Jamie Foxx. A young. Then we have what's his name? A young upcoming actor, even though he's English, but he's still a young upcoming actor. And then what's her name too? She played in I forgot she played in something else. I can't think of the name of it.
She did a really good job though. I loved her character as the movie went on and it grew. I loved her character in that movie.
Yeah, because she was the one caught up in the BS. She was the only character that wasn't out of the three that wasn't actually a clone. So
exactly
in the movie.
So man, so if you haven't seen it, it's a movie that takes place in a town in Georgia. The neighborhood is called Glen, and John Boyega plays the main character Fontaine. He's a local dope dealer.
Yeah,
and Jamie Foxx plays a pimp. Yo-Yo plays a prostitute.
Yeah,
and so John Boyega's character, responsible for putting dope in the neighborhood and keeping, and trying to keep rival dope dealers off his turf. Jamie Foxx is a pimp that buys product from him.
Yeah,
and Yo-Yo is one of his working girls. Jamie Foxx's working girls.
The three cornerstones of the community.
Exactly. So John Boyega, man, he gets into it with a rival drug dealer, and they come and they set him up and they shoot him after he go to get his money back from Slick, for some product that he sold him that he ain't got paid for yet.
Yeah, he shorted him basically.
Yeah, this cat Isaac shoots him, You know, they shoot him 5 shots, they kill him. They kill him in the car. Slick C got killed. Yo-Yo had left the scene before, you know, Fontaine's character, you know, the character Fontaine got killed. But the next day, he right back up in the street. And he go to Jamie Foxx to go get his money. He like, man, I seen you get shot last night.
Yeah, so how you living? Yeah,
man, you a ghost, bro. How you alive? You know? And so they go, and then some kind of way they wind up trying to figure out, like, why is he, like, you know, you got shot, man. Showing you got shot. So, who shot me? He goes and approaches the guy, and the guy look like, man, you a ghost? Am I seeing ghosts? He approached the cat, and like, I don't know what you're talking about. So eventually they wind up going into a house, and they find an elevator in the house. They go down the elevator, and there's a lab underground.
Yeah.
Where they cloning black people in the neighborhood, specific black people in the neighborhood, the dope dealer, the gangbangers, the pimp,
the preacher.
The preacher. Yeah. And so they also find out too that they're watching the whole neighborhood. They're observing the whole neighborhood.
Because the reason why they're observing them because it's a big experiment.
Yeah, it's a big experiment.
Yeah.
And also too, man, there's a scene in the movie where they go in the restaurant. Well, when they go in the house, when they go into the house, they go down in the lab. They go downstairs, a small lab, and they find a guy in there. You know, he's doing some experiment. So they pull guns on him and everything, and then they find his powder, and the powder turns out to be what's the flour on the chicken in the neighborhood. They got this spot called Goddamn Chicken, Goddamn Fried Chicken. You know,
it has some extra herbs and spices in it.
Exactly. And so this powder is the flour that they, you know, fry the chicken in, and it make people laugh and giddy and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, sociable, extra sociable for no reason.
So when they found this stuff out, they go to a restaurant, they sit down to eat to kind of contemplate what they're gonna do about what they found out, and they notice everybody just laughing uncontrollably, and it's from the chicken that they eat. So they go and they find out some more stuff. They find out that in the hairdressing salons, it's in the perms.
Yeah,
it's chemicals, drugs in the perm. Also, that the grape juice at the church got drugs in it.
It's in it. Yeah.
They go ahead.
So basically, the movie's about, you know, how it's a experimentation on how to control, you know, our community.
Yeah.
You know, basically, it's art reflecting life. In other words, so there's a lot of things that have been put in place that only affect a certain community, which is, you know, our community, and it seems like it's by design. And the movies, you know, it's making fun of it, but they trying to actually, you know, bring alertness to it.
Yeah, awareness. Yeah. And man, it's crazy because you see a lot of similarities in real life, like
real life, yeah.
From the movie,
they did a real good job in, you know, making it where it was funny, but making it to where it made you think.
Yeah. Because then you look, and there's like fast food places on every corner in the black neighborhood. There's one liquor on every in the urban areas. Is fast food place, liquor store, church,
beauty salon,
hair store. You know what I'm saying? Store. Like I said, like we said in before, the hair store is not even owned by us. The liquor stores ain't owned by us.
Yeah.
The fast food restaurants ain't owned by us.
The perm company is not owned by us.
No longer owned by us.
Yeah.
You know, and so like they say, like with those chemicals in the hair products, they say that was they think that's one of the main causes for thyroid cancer because that's really big in the black female community. You know, so they were saying that perms could be the cause of it because the deadly chemicals in it.
And then you know, not to cut you off, but you know they start putting that stuff in kids' hair at young ages, man.
Young age.
And there's some people who ain't never had a hair, they haven't gone too long with ever not having it in their head.
Yeah.
So that means it's getting absorbed through the skin, being metabolized through your body.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't know what the long cause effect of that stuff is.
Yeah, and like I said, like we said in Good Hair, they showed that there was no difference in kitty perm and the adult perm. The chemicals were exactly the same. The strength was exactly the same.
Yeah.
And so, like, we had the Popeye chicken sandwich, a while back.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, what's so funny about it though? That sandwich had been out for a year before it popped off. That was so crazy
Yeah.
about it. Now all of a sudden,
They showing black people on social media and the news acting the fool, driving cars up in the in the restaurant because they
fighting
couldn't
over
get
a
their
chicken
sandwich, fighting over the sandwich, jumping over counters. You know what I'm saying? Acting a fool. The only time we want y'all to be a fool.
and you see how that all played out.
Like button fool.
Yeah.
You see how that played out, man. It was a big mass surge. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden now nobody even talks about that sandwich no more.
Nah, not anymore.
At all. So
Yeah.
they made all that money and now it's like, but they need to bring back that Cajun rice though.
I stay away from Popeye because every chicken sandwich can't look exactly the same and be the same size. That's not natural.
You're right
That's
about
not
that. I never thought
natural.
about that.
I stay away from it. And them biscuits are like bricks. You know what I'm saying? You can bust a window with them. So I stay away from it.
Yeah, like that Cajun rice was half the reason to go to Popeyes. I don't even go to Popeyes no more.
And then also too, like in the movie, man, every time the main character Fontaine woke up, he went to the liquor store. He went to the corner store, bought a 40, bought a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
And there was an old man in the neighborhood. He knew everything that was going on. He observed everything. He was like the old homeless dude. We all see him. They observed the neighborhood.
The one that we always think is crazy.
Exactly. And he knew exactly what was going on, even though, like they say, the dude is crazy. It might not be that crazy.
Yeah.
And he had the 40 ounce. And like, man, as a kid, I noticed that they would sell certain alcohol and beer in black neighborhoods, but they wouldn't sell it in the suburbs or you went further out. Like you couldn't find no Slit Small Liquor Bull and no Old English.
St. Ives.
None of that stuff, bro. You couldn't find it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't sell it. You know what I'm saying? Then the commercials, malt liquor, there's advertising just strictly to black people.
Yeah.
Why is that? Is it coincidence or is it by design?
It's by design, man. Keep a certain people oppressed.
Yeah.
The first thing you do is, you take away their mental. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So this movie, man, it was so many parts in the movie that I could relate to real life.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, they made this movie. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you see certain things, you're like, man, they let them make this movie.
Yeah, basically.
You know what I'm saying?
But then you see like you're really not hearing too much about it.
Exactly.
I just for me was this a peak of because for me it was Jamie Foxx was sick. Oh, and there's a new movie out. Let me just check it out. This support Jamie Foxx. That's how that's really how I got intrigued by it because I saw Jamie Foxx was in it. He's recovering from his whatever. I don't know exactly what he had. Was it a stroke or?
They said it was a stroke, but he came on. I think finally came out and said it was something else. But they haven't gave exact details on it. But they deserve their privacy. But we can see he lost weight from whatever he was dealing with. He lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And,
so I just started watching. I wanted to see it because the OG Jamie Foxx and he's playing the pimp and it looked funny to me. Like it's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
So that's what.
That's why I want to see. Yeah, I want to see how his character was gonna be.
Yeah, exactly.
And that movie too, like they say they had elevators everywhere and all the important spots in the black neighborhood.
Cameras everywhere. Yeah.
They had the elevator going down to the lab in the strip club, in the locker room at the strip club,
the church,
in the liquor store, in the church at the pulpit. You know,
the club was a strip club. That was
everywhere, and houses out throughout the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And as soon as one of their clones that they put in, they put in the neighborhood to cause havoc and bring people down, as soon as they die, they would just replace them with a new body.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that too in the streets because as soon as you knock off the head guy, the next guy below him gonna take the spot.
Yeah.
It don't stop the crime or the drugs. Somebody else just take the spot and say, "Now I'm the big dog."
Yeah, somebody's gonna fill that void.
Exactly.
It's gonna
And so the people, man, they was in the church. They just getting feel good. They had the drugs inside the grape juice.
And then they were playing back that.
The church
thing
music. The church music was back that ass up. If you listen to the beat,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I was like, man, that Juvenile.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey, it's so funny. Even Jamie Foxx character said things have changed since the last time I've been to church.
exactly. So yeah, and that's true, man. Because a lot of times, man, instead of getting the word, you getting a
Yeah,
concert.
getting the concert.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's a lot of places.
Are you getting a motivational speech?
Yeah, and
You
that's
know,
it. And there's a lot
that's
of places
it.
like that's guilty of that today. And
Yeah.
man, it was just so much in the movie, and like Jamie Foxx's character was a clone. John
Yeah.
Boyega's character was a clone. Miss Tayana Paris, her character was an actual person, but
Yeah.
because of the environment, she was a victim.
She was
She was a
oppressed by
prostitute.
the yeah. She's a
Yeah,
product of her environment, basically.
exactly. So she, even though she wasn't a clone, that environment still produced her. Turned her
Yeah,
into this
yeah,
lifestyle she was living.
because they were saying that her character was actually really intelligent. She
Yeah,
had other plans to do other things, but she got caught up.
yeah. She wanted to be a journalist and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah, yeah,
and she studied Nancy Drew. She studied, investigative novels. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And she was really, really smart, and she was trying to pick apart and see what's going on in the neighborhood. Once they
yeah,
found out, she wanted to dive deeper and
yeah,
investigate, and she wanted to put an end to what was happening in that neighborhood called the Glen. I
yeah,
loved her character. I love
yeah.
'cause it was
And
a.
and you,
Go ahead.
and you see what happened to her. They end up kidnapping her.
Yeah, she was too smart.
Yeah, but then again, they kidnapped her, and then she went unnoticed.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like some other, like I
Exactly.
said, the art is dictating reality.
Yeah, reflecting
Like
life.
how many young black women have disappeared and nobody
Yeah,
has even cared or noticed. You
yeah.
know.
It's not put into the news, and then it
Yeah.
don't help that we just had that one female. What was her name? That faked her own kidnapping.
Oh yeah, I forgot her name.
That's how important she is to me.
Yeah,
Forgot her name, but she faked her own kidnapping.
but they
When we
put
got
that. But that's crazy though. But they put that in there. But they didn't put
yeah,
all the other
when we got real
people who are
sisters
really missing.
and young ladies that's getting snatched up off the streets.
Yeah, they won't
You know
put
what
that in
I'm
there.
saying?
But they put the one that was a fake. They posted it all over.
Yeah, because human trafficking is a big business.
Oh yeah, it's very big in Texas.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
very big.
yeah. And so and when they went down to that lab, they took a trip down there and they snuck and got some suits. They saw all the experimentation that they was doing from the drugs and the food,
The
the
hair.
chemicals, the juice. You know what I'm saying? The hair, also music,
Yeah,
the mind control music. They
yeah,
had padded rooms down there, like a psychological institution.
yeah,
You know, to where they was flooding them with images. You
yeah.
know, and they was killing some people from the images they were displaying over time too. And they were playing certain music. They had like this experiment where they were playing gangster rap,
They had two
and,
guys in there fighting.
and they were fighting. They were killing each other. Then all of a sudden they
Yeah,
started
yeah,
playing a love song, and then they
yeah,
started hugging.
yeah.
But and like y'all know me, man. I'm into music. You know what I'm saying? T Swin, man, my album right there. Go get it. Transportation music. It's good, clean music. Ain't got no secret waves in there. But for years in music, they've used certain frequencies and waves to make you feel sad or make you feel happy when the song is there in the background in the songs.
Yeah.
We respond. Our bodies respond to certain frequencies and things. If you don't know, take a look into it. The
And then,
military even have wave guns where they adjust to a certain frequency and they'll paralyze you, you know, and
yeah, I
shut you
think
down.
didn't what's her name? What's her name? Janae Aiko, the one that's with Big Sean. She said that
Yes,
she plays certain wavelengths in her song that make you feel a certain mood, right? She
yeah,
said that. So
yeah.
I was gonna
So,
put it like this. Everybody know what the devil was in charge of, and Lucifer was in charge of.
oh yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so he's the over worship over music.
yeah. And you
So
got people, man. You got people that they get high off of certain sound frequencies.
yeah, sacrifice. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like audio dope for real.
yeah,
You got people, there have been people that have died from that, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And so these things are real. This movie is showing a lot of real things, and
But in a funny way.
yeah,
But I like the way they did it though. They passed it off as comedy, but they were being real.
yeah. And so like it's crazy, man. They was putting all this stuff on in people. They was, they wasn't aware of it. They was help pushing a lifestyle that doesn't promote any positivity or any rise in the community, and
Yeah.
that's what's happening. That's what's happening in real life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The music and the images that we are displayed on a daily basis from social media to mainstream television, uh, help if we follow them, help keep us in a bad space, helps
Yeah.
keep us last in the race.
Yeah.
Also, too, promotes a negative image across the world.
Yeah.
When you ask people from other countries, when they think of Black Americans or Black people, they think of a thief or a thug or a pimp, a gangster or a prostitute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because these images that are displayed,
Yeah.
or they think we all play basketball, or we all
Or can sing.
sing and
Or can
dance.
sing. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. When I was in Japan, man, I did karaoke, and they were looking at me like, "You can't sing." I was like, "Yeah, I can't sing. I can rap. Hey, I can't sing." They were surprised. There's some
Yeah.
jealousy on, and I was like, I can't sing.
I had a friend that was in college and he was part of the choir, and they swore up and down. They went to Poland, I think, to perform. And they
Yeah,
swore up and down they were boys to men. Like boys to men, boys to men. Like no, ain't no boys to men. Yeah, he'll be
yeah,
rolling about that story. But yeah, they always see us as either athletic or can sing or some
some
kind
kind of
of
entertainment. Yeah,
yeah.
like, yeah, like what do you say? Chris Ross said, "Ready to get out there and dance." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, get there entertaining these people. Nah,
Yeah. And
it's
it was so crazy. They did a lot. They touched on a lot about conditioning because the main character
yeah,
mother, he was so trained not to go in her room that he never went in to check to see if she even existed, and come to find out she was nothing but a voice box,
exactly,
a stereo system. You
exactly.
know, and
Yeah,
it's a lot of things we do that we don't realize that we just been conditioned to do. You know,
yeah,
just because you know it's been set up like that. We've been programmed to do certain things that without realizing we're programmed to do it.
yeah. And another thing too, like in the movie too, when they were snatching people,
Yeah.
the black Tahoe or pull up, and folks in the neighborhood would see these people get snatched up in these Tahoes and get taken off, and they wouldn't do anything.
Wouldn't even question it. It's like
They wouldn't even question it. Yeah,
yeah.
and it's kind of like the same thing in today. When something happens, people just pull their phones out.
Oh yeah. I
They
got asked.
watching. They watching young teenage black girls get beat up by grown cops,
Yeah.
and nobody's jumping in.
Okay.
You know, they just watching, pulling out a phone. You seeing like what happened up in Chicago.
Yeah.
The son wanted up shooting the guy, but they're watching this dude punch this woman. No matter what she said, he shouldn't have hit her. But people are not trying to intervene. They're just pulling out their phones because they want to be viral on social media,
Yeah.
or they want to sell clips to TMZ to make money. You know what I'm saying? They're just standing by.
And then what's so crazy is I had a story. It's not as serious as what you were talking about, but this to put in perspective. So I was at my job the other day, and like a place in it's in a parking lot, and the place in the parking lot was on fire. It was on like a full blaze fire, right?
Yeah,
And instead of people trying to call 911 to put the fire out, these fools driving past it, going to the liquor store, going to the liquor store. I ain't gonna say what the name of the liquor store. I ain't not
in the
getting no
same
fare.
parking lot.
In the same parking lot, they drove right past that sucker like it wasn't even there, and went to a liquor store. But this is the catch 20. This is the big thing about it. The fire was right next to a Jiffy Lube. So what if the Jiffy Lube caught on fire?
Yeah, yeah,
And you just people passed it by. People got out and talked about the fire and was looking at the fire and talking about it, but nobody was calling 911.
yeah,
Like that's crazy. So you gonna
yeah.
bypass it and go to the liquor store, and you're gonna get past it and have a whole conversation with me about the fire instead of calling somebody. Like, dude, so who's calling? I'm like, who's calling 911? That's what my concern
Exactly.
was, because you don't know what that fire is by a gas line, or if it's a gas,
Yeah,
blow all of us up.
yeah. Containers under pressure. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Creating
and
missile hazards.
and literally it was like not even 100 feet away from that Jiffy Lube, and it was a full like a like my height. I'm about 5'11",
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
and about the width of maybe a car or two,
Yeah.
and everybody's sitting there talking and conversating. No, with the damn call the fire department, and
Yeah.
then you know,
Yeah. We live,
yeah,
you know what, too, man. We live in a desensitized nation
yeah,
with so many images. These kids think it's funny to see people get hurt on video or to watch people get murdered or commit suicide on live. They think that stuff funny.
oh yeah, it's like a whole TV show on MTV with that ridiculous show.
Yeah. I
I think
can't I can't watch stuff like that, man. You know,
yeah,
it make my body hurt when I watch.
oh
But these
yeah,
kids think that's funny, so when they see stuff happen, they don't take it serious. It's
yeah,
like they play these games all the time. They play these, Fortnite, Call of Duty, whatever, and they just
yeah,
shooting people. They don't think nothing of it.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It don't make no better that you got drill music, and every other word is, the ops, or I'm pulling the trigger, shooting. I got the stick, I got the
I
bow.
got Draco.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I didn't know what Draco was until like recently. All right,
Yeah,
it became so popular now,
yeah,
So but like I said, man, it's in our we being programmed by what we see and what we listen to.
yeah.
We need to kind of filter what we consume visually and audible, uh,
Exactly.
and definitely our kids, man, and that's something we haven't been doing at all. It actually started with our generation,
Yeah,
like our parents not really knowing what we were listening, because
yeah,
when the internet came, we have access to everything,
yeah,
like everything. Like it was a time, like I said this one before, it was a time that all the stuff that's on the radio now wouldn't have been on the radio. That
Oh, no.
you had to buy it, you
Yeah, you
know.
had to buy it. Now another thing the movie was also showing too is that the government was putting things in the neighborhood in
Yeah,
certain cities. There were major cities that they had these programs and these labs in.
yeah,
Now, throughout history, there's been government agents or spies put into black institutions, programs, you know what I'm saying, organizations
yeah,
to disrupt them.
yeah,
All right. You had the government with Marcus Garvey.
yeah,
And he had his boat line, his fleet line, his cruise line. And they paid a black man to take him to go buy broken down or boats in horrible ships in horrible condition. You know, so his cruise line couldn't take off.
yeah,
You know, and they were upset because he was convincing black people to put their money together so they could
yeah.
have their own cruise line. You know, and they
On
were upset with
businesses.
him. Yeah,
Yeah,
on business.
he was trying to unite every African, like from the Caribbean to
Every
Africa to
black person. Yeah,
yeah, to
had
be
having
under
black first, everything else second. And
yeah,
they were upset. They were trying to figure out how when one ship would break down, how he get the money to buy another one
yeah,
because he had pulled black people together and they were putting their money together. So when one boat broke down, boom, he was buying another one right there, and they were
yeah,
sabotaging each one.
yeah,
He also convinced them to create a black doll so young black girls could play with a black doll, you know, instead of
yeah,
playing with the white doll. We don't have nothing against nobody else. We just quoting history. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Stating facts. And like you had the movie The Black Messiah,
yeah,
you know, where they had that brother go in there and infiltrate,
yeah,
Black Panthers.
yeah. The Black Panthers, yeah. Uh,
Martin Luther
Martin Luther
King,
King, yeah.
you know what
Probably
I'm saying?
Malcolm X too.
All throughout history has
Yeah,
been done.
yeah.
Whenever there's been somebody promoting positivity and trying
And
to
you
lead
not
us in an
yeah,
uplifting direction so we can better ourselves, be self-sustaining, and help ourselves, they try to take that person out or they take that person out.
or even a whole community. Don't forget about Black Wall Street.
Exactly. Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I work with people. They thought I was making that up. I had to show them that that was an actual event. And for
yeah,
those that don't know, Black Wall Street, what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, was the first airstrike on U.S. soil. It was done by the government, you know, and they were looking at me like, "Is this real?" I say, "This is the history you don't get in
yeah,
school. They don't want you to know that.
yeah,
They don't want you to know the dark history in this country.
yeah.
You know,
We done,
uh,
like I've said it before, man. The United States have done a lot of great things, but a lot of stuff we done did around, not only domestically but around the world, are just
Yeah,
it's kind of foul. But
yeah. I've been to a lot of places, man. I've seen the destruction. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I've been. I went to Hiroshima. You know, I've been there. I've seen
yeah,
the destruction of war. And then some of my buddies, I was Navy. My job was to look for enemy submarines, so I wasn't on land. But a lot of my buddies, man, were Army and Marines, and they've been on the front lines. You know, they've been wounded and injured. You know, so we see what this war, we see what war does. But there's a history of America doing things in the community to keep us in a certain position.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Removing certain curriculum out of school,
yeah,
activities. You know,
yeah.
and
Hey,
go ahead.
even see in neighborhoods. Have you know some neighborhoods don't have basketball courts because they think it happens when basketball court
Black
comes
people gonna
around.
move in. Yeah.
Exactly.
But what's crazy is that, okay, we're gonna talk about this. Okay, in the height of COVID, right?
Hmm.
In the city of Houston, they shut down all parks, right? They even went so far to remove the rims off the basketball goals at the parks in urban neighborhoods, black neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
But at that time, I was doing food delivery as a side hustle. I'm in the richer neighborhood, you know. Guess what they doing?
Playing basketball.
Park wide open.
Yeah.
Everybody walking in the streets. Nobody's wearing masks. Everybody's out and about in the richer areas. And everybody's out and about, walking their dog, running with their baby in the stroller. You know what I'm saying? The park wide open. The rims is there. But in the black neighborhood, everybody inside. They tell everybody, stay inside, stay inside. Everybody got to be masked up.
Yeah.
It was totally different.
And then on top of that, man, you got to think, who did COVID kill? It killed the unhealthy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The people who ate unhealthy, the people who had diabetes and
yeah,
high blood pressure. And what group of people are affected most by high blood pressure and trouble with weight and stuff like that?
yeah. The black community.
Exactly.
So yeah, it targeted those people with those underlying conditions.
And then on top of it, the few things we use to stay in shape to keep ourselves healthy, they took it away.
Yeah,
You know?
and it was crazy, man, because they was campaigning like crazy for our community to take the vaccine.
Yeah.
For real, billboards everywhere.
Yeah.
There was even multiple news reports like, why aren't black people? Because it's a history of y'all poisoning us and
Yeah.
contaminating our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
From everything from the tap water
Yeah.
to
Ferguson.
everything, man. You know.
To
And
Stevie.
so, and they even went so far as to recruit Manny Fresh and Juvenile to create a "Vax That Thing Up" song.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And now there's a documentary out right now. I can't remember I think it's called The Final Days or something like that. And they in that documentary, they're talking about how the Moderna vaccine isn't even a vaccine. It's a software program.
It's an RNA. It attaches to your RNA.
In the documentary, they say it's classified as a software program, not even a vaccine.
Dang.
So
Well,
if you can't find that, it's Final Days or The Last Days, something like that. It recently came out last month.
So now I gotta watch that because I took the vaccine out of fear. So now,
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Your
Yeah.
boy start ticking. You know what's up.
Yeah. Another thing too, another thing in they Cloned Tyrone that they had a kill word,
Oh yeah,
shutdown word. The word was Olympia Black.
yeah,
You know, when they would say this word, the black people would stop in their tracks, stand still, and be under command. Now there's people conspiracy theory, but the rumor is that in our government there are kill words like this to shut people down. You know, and supposedly also too that when those words are said, the body starts shutting down, so you die. Organs start shutting off, something like that. But they showed that in that movie. So the movie. Like one thing I always say about movies is they give you a glimpse of what's really going on.
True, yeah, it was really true.
And what's really happening. And like they always do it. They give you a little piece, and then it becomes reality.
Yeah.
In upcoming months or the next couple of years. Like, wow, that's cool. That'd be cool if we had that. Next thing you know, we have it. They showed it to you in the movie that it was coming.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like The Simpsons, man. Look how many things
Oh,
the
yeah.
Simpsons done supposedly predicted, or maybe they already knew. Who knows, you know?
Yeah.
But they predicted like this. Ever check out the Simpsons and all the predictions they came? They even predicted COVID. They predicted COVID. They predicted
Yeah.
Donald Trump becoming president. They
Yeah.
predicted the submarine. They saying the submarine thing that went on. They predicted that too.
Yeah.
So it's like, how much of
But
it is coincidence, and how much of it is by design, you know?
but when it came to the vaccine, a lot of our people were resistant. We didn't
Yeah,
want to take it because of the history of this country.
yeah,
And if you people ain't, if y'all ain't familiar with the Tuskegee experiment,
yeah,
we got a little slide we're gonna put up for you. And the history of this country, man. So the Tuskegee experiment was a reprehensible medical study conducted by the U.S. Public Health Service from 1932 to 1972. It aimed to observe untreated syphilis in African American men without their consent, denying them proper treatment even when it became available. This unethical study led to severe health complications and deaths among participants. It deeply eroded trust in the medical system within the Black community, highlighting systemic racism and discrimination. This serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of exploiting marginalized groups for research and underscores the importance of ethical standards in medical studies. Now, for those that don't know, the Tuskegee experience, this is a real thing. They unknowingly, these people unknowingly injected with syphilis
yeah,
and experimented on. And there's a book that talks about these medical experiments, all of them that happen in America and continue to happen to this day. And that book is Medical Apartheid. Right here, Medical Apartheid, The Dark History of Medical Experimentation on Black Americans from Colonial Times to the Present by Harriet A. Washington. This book is available right now. If you don't like to read, you like to listen to books, it is available on Audible. All right, get the book, learn some history. The history that they won't teach you and give you in the classrooms. Right?
yeah. Like, people don't understand that the severity of syphilis, man. Like, not only like when they give it to the husband, they go home to their wives. Now the wife got
Yeah,
it, and the wife gets pregnant. Now the kid has it. You know.
yeah.
So look how many lives that affected not one person. That's affected three or more, depending on.
And
It's
if it
like,
goes
yeah,
untreated, it damages a lot.
a lot. Yeah, it's like,
Spine,
yeah.
your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and it's like that's why we're kind of like skeptical about things when they try to, it seems like they force it upon us.
Yeah.
We hesitant to take it because of the history in this country.
And then on second thing too, it was designed so fast, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Quick.
Yeah.
Super quick. So and here's another thing too, man. Like when I was in the military, remember they had everybody scared with the anthrax powder and stuff. They said envelopes were popping up, packages were popping up with white powdery residue. This anthrax beware. If you get a package, don't touch it, don't open the mail. So when I was in the military, they was giving the anthrax shots. It was a series of 5 shots, right? But this is the thing. This is when I was in Japan too. So they say that the shot was it's voluntary. You don't have to take the shot. They say it's voluntary. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not taking it, right? They're like, all right. So that same day when they started giving out the shot, I go to the lunch line. I'm in the lunch line, man. I got my tray. Boom, they already put food on. I'm at the end. I'm finna get a couple more things on there and get my silverware. Right? They say, hey, they got a list of names. They say, hey, Swin, man, put that tray down. I said, what's up? Man, he ain't took the shot yet. I said, I ain't got to take the shot. It's voluntary. Yeah, man, but put that tray down, man. You can't eat until you take the shot. I said, man, we'll bump you, man, forget you. I threw the tray down, got out of line. Knowing me, y'all know me. I snuck back around later on. Get back in line. You know what I'm saying? Even put a hat on, try to change my clothes, look a little bit different, get back in line. Sweating that you? Man, put that tray down. I said, all right, cool. So I put the tray down. I go to the vending machine. Go get me some, some Pop-Tarts and some knickknacks. I remember the ship store went and bought me some cookies and some, some soups or something. I ain't going about my business. All right. I go to watch, and I'm down in my sonar space, looking for enemy submarines. And I get off watch. I come back up. I go take my shower so I can go to sleep and get ready for the next day. I come out the shower. I get dressed. I look up. Somebody's standing next to my bed. Another dude with that same list. He said, "Hey, man, you can't get in your rack. You can't get in that bed, man. You ain't took the shot yet. You can't get in that bed." I said, "Man, forget you." So I grabbed my pillow and my blanket and I left. And because I had like access to secret spaces that they didn't have access to, I had access to secret and top secret spaces that you needed a code to get into, that only me and my division knew, and people would need to know. I go in those spaces and I sleep. So for like a week and a half to 2 weeks, I'm eating at the vending machine at the ship store and sleeping on the floor in one of my spaces because they wouldn't let me eat in the lunch line, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Or late at night, we had this thing called midnight rations. They wouldn't let me eat at night. And then I couldn't sleep in my bed. I take my shower and grab my stuff and go somewhere else. So, man, after about 2 weeks, man, I got tired of eating at the vending machine and eating snacks. And I said, all right, man, give me the shot, So they gave me the shot. And I took like 3 out of the 5 shots before I got out the military. But it's voluntary, but they were forcing it on us.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful when they're trying to force this stuff on you, and be strong. Like I say, Today, will I bow down? Nah. Now I give it? Nah. But that's my story about them, forcing a vaccine or a shot on you.
Yeah.
And this movie, man, it shows and it deals with a lot of the things that we deal with on a daily basis in our community. Yeah. And it's shedding light. So don't just look at it as just a movie. You know what I'm saying? There's truth in it. Like you said, or they say there's some medicine in the candy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like I said, they did a real good job as at disguising the message as comedy,
Yeah. Yeah. Man. So if you haven't seen They Cloned Tyrone, watch that movie.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Watch it. Tell somebody else. Tell a friend. Watch it. It's a very good movie. Also, do your homework on some of these topics that we're talking about.
Most definitely.
Get your history. Get your real history.
Yeah.
Check out that book, man. I'm going to pull it up again. Medical Apartheid. This is a real book. Get your hands on it. Listen to it. It's a real book on the history of medical experimentation on Black Americans. There have been people where they've used their DNA to create cures, for diseases and certain things in this country. Black people they've used for that. There's something special about us, man.
Oh yeah, they always said the most genetics are in Africa anyway. You find the tallest people in Africa, and you also find the smallest people in Africa. So there's all kind of genes floating around in Africa,
Yeah.
So no telling what we out of that mesh of genetics, what possibly you could find the cure, the cure stuff or people resistant to stuff, because the human body is amazing, man. It adapts,
Exactly.
Like they have a tribe that lives on the water. I forgot the name of the tribe. It's a tribe. They live completely on water, and they can hold their breath for like 16, 20 minutes, something crazy.
Yeah.
Their bodies they done first to that lifestyle. So they can go all the way underwater, like deeper than a regular person, and hold their breath longer than a regular person.
Yeah.
Because it was forced evolution. So
yeah, man. So if you rocking with us, man, hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment, man. And tap into the Men Can't Always Be Wrong podcast, streaming on all podcast streaming platforms, man. Listen to you guys on Spotify, man, Pandora, iHeart, man. We with CTR Media Network, 350 million listeners around the world in over 70 countries. You know what I'm saying? If you'd like to advertise with us, please hit us up at Men Can't Always Be Wrong podcast, mcabwpodcast@gmail.com. Reach out to us if you would like to be a guest on the show. You can go to ctrmedianetwork.com, click on the Men Can't Always Be Wrong icon, and hit that request to be a guest form. Fill it out, man, and we'll get back to you. You know what I'm saying? So, man, for me, they Cloned Tyrone, man. 5 stars, 10 out of 10. It's on my list, one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed that. They won in the end. Kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because so many movies, it'd be an emotional roller coaster, and we lose at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We a lot of times we get shown that we can't win.
Yeah.
But there's no way out. You know what I'm saying? But we can take control of this narrative, and we can take control of our future and our communities, and we can win. It takes unity. It takes a team effort.
Yeah.
We can win. Everybody's got to play their part.
Most definitely. And it's amazing this movie's not trending like that on Netflix. It's just, especially with the star power, it's just kind of strange to me, at least.
Yeah.
It's not pulling in the numbers that it should be pulling in,
Yeah.
Especially, Jamie Foxx has been in the social media, in the news, Then not only that, he's a star anyway,
Exactly.
So
represent Texas.
That's right. Yeah, Dallas.
Let's see.
It's just amazing to me that it's not being pushed like that,
Yeah.
It's like some other movies that they have in the top 10, like that movie's not as good as, this movie was, but
yeah.
But I guess people have their opinions.
Exactly. So JB, man, any last words for the people?
Yeah, man, go check this movie out, man. Look at it with an open mind. Not don't look at it and hee and ha. Just look at it and think about it. They trying to portray in the movie.
Yeah, and I would say, man, for those out there, watch the movie, pay close attention, and once you watch this movie with an open mind and open eyes and open ears, you'll be able to see some of the things in your own neighborhood and area.
Yeah.
That are reflecting what's shown in this movie. So like the guy, the dissect guy, stay thirsty, stay woke, my friends. Stay woke. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So this has been the Men Can't Always Be Wrong podcast. It's your guy T Swin and
your boy J Bean. Make sure y'all subscribe, man.
Yeah, hit that like button.
Hit the like button, fool.
Yes, sir. And man, and we'll get back with y'all. Stay tuned. Rock with you guys, man. We out.